the guys look thrown today?
They look great, yeah. Just how nice was it to be out here. I thought we had a great day 2, which pretty much was our day 1. Yeah, everybody's been really impressive. The size of the mound's great. Balls coming out. Really impressed with how Cobb looked, and a great first day on the field.
You mentioned Cobb. He had the issues with blisters. I think it was 2 different fingers last year. He said in the past once in a while. Is that anything you can address to try the preventative measure, or what would you do with that?
I think it's one of those things that certain pitchers are prone to. I think he's probably the right guy to ask for that, because I think I know he had problems with it a couple times last year at the end of the year. I haven't talked to him about what measures he's using, but I know it's a pretty common deal, and I know guys use all different kinds of remedies to try to keep their fingers strong, and I'm sure he's doing the same thing.
We talked to Carnes earlier today. When you have a guy like that who hasn't pitched a lot last couple of years, do you put him on a sort of slow play schedule in the spring, or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're aware of his history. We had a meeting with him yesterday, and he feels awesome. So, our goal is for him to break and to break healthy. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that happens, whether that's slow play him or we're going to be just talking to him every single day, and we're going to rely heavily on the medical guys to let us know where he's at.
Brandon, do you see him as more of a starter or a reliever, or someone who can go back and forth between both roles?
Yeah, he's gone back and forth, in his career. So I think with our openings, with how we are right now as a club, I can see him do either one. I think we're going to kind of base that on where we are, where he is health-wise, what we think maybe he'll benefit from, but probably in the best interest for him.
You have a couple of guys who were on the Major League roster last year, and I think Castro, Wright, and Yacobonis, who started and relieved as well. When does the determination get made what they're going to prepare as this spring?
I think with a lot of guys, we're going to stretch them out, and then we'll make a determination at some point, which we haven't decided yet. A lot of things happen over the next 6 weeks, so we'll make a determination at some point here in the next month of where we're going to continue to stretch them out, or maybe shift them into more of a bullpen role. But I think it's we're keeping our options open with everybody, and anybody that's got a chance to start, we're going to try to stretch them out.
Brandon, we've talked a lot about guys who maybe who were competing for jobs this spring, but what about a guy like Michael Givens? What do you see his role being, or do you know yet?
No, I'll tell you what his role is right now is to pitch in high leverage situations, whether that's closing or whether that's the 7th or whether that's the 8th. Obviously we're in a good spot when Michael comes in the game and to pitch. So we haven't determined roles or anything like that. Mike's a class act that's pitched in big games and postseason games, and he's got back-end bullpen stuff. So he's going to be a big part of shutting down an offense for us.
Philosophically, would you prefer to have one guy for the 9th inning, or would you prefer to kind of go a little more creatively like a lot of these teams are?
Yeah, I think totally personnel driven. If you have an elite closer, a Mariano Rivera or a Aroldis Chapman type, then you want them pitching at the end of the game in an ideal world. But I think that there's high leverage situations that happen the last 9 outs of the game, and so you're trying to line up your guys to pick parts of the lineup to attack their hitters the best way you can.
How different is pitching the 9th inning in your opinion?
I think it is different. I think the last 3 outs are different. For whatever reason, I wasn't a pitcher, so I don't know exactly, but you hear a lot of them talk about it. It's the last 3 outs of the game. For whatever reason it is, it can be different for guys, and so that comes into play as well.
We've noticed a lot of different things around here. We've noticed since last year. We noticed there are more mounds. Today we heard music. Is that sort of? Are you going to be trying to sort of innovate and do things to relax the guys or speed stuff up?
Well, it's not new to me, to be honest with you. This is stuff that we've done for 13, 14 years. So I'm just trying to create a great environment like I've been a part of for years, and whether that's music or more mounds or being a little lighter in certain situations. The bottom line is I want guys to be pros when they're out here, get their work done. I'm really big on quality work. I want to have a good atmosphere while they're working. So I always feel like music you know, when you've been a minor league coach and been on field 76 in the back and it's 97 degrees out and there's no music, you know, I know what that feels like. So that's the opposite of what I want here. I want guys with a little pep in their step, whether that's music or whatever it is. I think that's important to create that kind of atmosphere.
Brandon, you some questions here about roles and stuff you can't determine now, obviously.
Okay.
How much of a balance do you going to have to strike during the season between trying to assign those roles and just auditioning guys in those high leverage situations?
Yeah, we'll find out, right? I think, I mean, we have no idea what our roster looks like. So to even talk about any type of role right now for me is not even, I'm not even considering or thinking about it. I just want to get the right guys on the club, and we'll piece that together as we go in the season. And it'll probably be flowing throughout the season, whether those kind of things change. I'm trying to win games, and I'm not going to manage to a save statistic per se. I'm going to manage to try to win the game, and whether that's certain guys pitching 7th, 8th, 9th inning, it might change nightly. So it depends on what our club looks like at that point.
Did that come up in your conversations with Michael so far? Because he did it end last year as the closer.
What do you say? With Givens?
Yeah, with Givens.
You know what? I haven't even talked about his role, or we haven't had those. We've just had just great conversations. We haven't even talked about what I look for from 6 weeks from now from him. I just want him to be healthy on the mound. I want to see the same stuff I saw today. I want him to be himself and be the guy, the lockdown guy that he's been the majority of his career.
It's kind of a strange question, but you have 6 mounds now, something we're kind of not used to. Does something go into the pairing of who's warming up? Like today, you had 5 lefties at the same time, throw.
Yeah,
Is there something to it?
I think at times, but I wouldn't read too much into it. The 6 mounds, that for me, that's just being able to have waves of more guys and not being out here for 14 hours, right? So to have more mounds and to be able to rotate off that a little bit easier, a little bit more efficient. I'm used to a 10-pack. So when we saw that there was very few mounds compared to kind of what we're used to, then we suggested that they add a couple just from to get more guys throwing at once, to be able to not be on the field for so long. And that's where we're at with the mounds.
Another thing that you've done that hasn't always been done here is you've brought the entire AA and AAA staffs to here initially. How long are they going to be here before they
either? Yeah. That's just something I'm used to, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I want our organization to be around the environment that we're putting together, and the major league coaching staff as much as possible, and that's always important. I managed in AA. I knew what it was like to be in big league camp. It's a big deal, and to be able to listen to the major league coaches talk, to be able to see what's going out on the field, I want that as much as possible. We're going to have our big league coaches are going to go down to the minor leagues at times. We're going to be having full conversations. They're going to be talking about their philosophies with minor league coaches, and as we kind of grow this organization, there's going to be times when minor league coaches come up here just to sit and watch and to see how we're doing things. I want that to be, I'm used to a one complex where there's everybody, and so this is different for me. So we've talked a lot about how we're going to do that, how we want to get our whole organization to be kind of, everybody get on the same page, or just to hear our major league coaches talk.